Greetings again. Hope you're all doing good. It's very rare to come across people don't like eggs. Eggs are one of the most delicious foods in our families, homes, communities, and cities. And I thought, let me try and share a few items, probably 7 or so, about what I've learned about eggs. It's been a while, it's been a long time, but eggs, are produced by birds. And we've learned in school about so many things when it comes to eggs. Those who went into the parts of an egg, I won't go into such much details, but I just share a few on the importance of birds and eggs, on what we all are seeking for in terms of knowledge, and connecting this knowledge to a deeper understanding of our society. One beautiful thing about the egg is that what is inside of the egg is outside of the egg. Just like the birds are hatched from the egg, that is enough knowledge that you can learn about the spiritual journey of a bird and his relationship to what was going on inside the egg. Eggs are oval, or simply the shape of an egg is an egg. So in school we learned about what is the shape of the planet. What is the shape of planet Earth? And it is circular. Nowadays we have arguments about flat Earth. We learned our planet is oval. And I've come to learn that the knowledge about the shape of the planet is all around us. There are millions and millions of illustrations on the shape, the surfaces, the movement, the motion, the appearance of our planet. And an egg, a mango fruit, an avocado fruit, a coconut, pineapple. Look at the shapes of seeds. They all, in one way or the other, illustrate on the importance of us being keen and observing the teachings of the animals and items and things, as well as events that we interact with on daily basis. So to me, an egg is a storage of the journey of the events, places, and people the bird has gone through and experienced. Birds lay an egg a day, for example the chicken, meaning the journey of an egg is the collection of the daily events from morning to evening. Events of the light, events of sounds, events of smell, events of motion of things, animals, plants, and people around the environment where the birds chirp, where the birds live, where the birds interact with each other. So with birds and eggs, I've learned that from the birds and from the eggs, birds have gone through tremendous amounts of thousands and thousands of spiritual journeys to come to us. For the bird to come out of the egg, it has endured a lot, and that's why they have the beautiful sounds, beautiful colors. That's why they are one of the masters of distance, of time and distance, because of the experience they've gathered to have each feather growing every other day until the bird is grown. So eggs and birds collectively carry overwhelming amounts of knowledge. That's why their presence triggers the images, the beautiful sounds and chirping, and how easily they are flown by the unseen lens and structures of this atmosphere that we can't see, but birds are able to navigate through it. Birds and eggs and presence of eggs in our homes, the delicious and how sweet when you cook an egg, an omelette is. It is one of the best ways to tell that birds, eggs, the families of birds, the types of birds we have, from the smallest to the biggest to the largest, it tells you this is one of the creatures, one of the animals with the highest level of awareness for time, motion, circulation of energy, presence of sounds, presence of smell, presence of taste. And this gives birds and our study for eggs and seeds and fruits a key to unlocking new time zones around us. That's why it is not easy to catch birds. They see a distance between us and them in a matter. One motion, one movement, sound, how we smell, the activities we make on daily basis. They are the ones that differentiate us with these beautiful creatures. I wouldn't go back much into the digestive systems of birds, but I will say the very same outlet for droppings is the very same outlet for an egg. Birds mate in a matter of seconds. It tells you the huge amount of energy that is exchanged between the male birds and the female birds. The presence of feathers on a bird, it tells you that this is one of the most advanced levels of collection of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That to them, pleasure cannot last long like the way we do, like the way we human beings do. It tells you that when you connect with birds, it tells you people back in the ages, our forefathers, yes, they endured pleasure, but there are different forms of pleasure that were far beyond our sexual intercourse. Cohabiting wasn't that big part of their life because pleasure to them, it meant they knew the effects pleasure has on future generations. And for me, I've learned from birds. When I see the rooster and I see the hen and it's 2 seconds, I know if I take that backwards, this is an immense exchange of a handshake between one time zone and another time zone, between one family and another family, between one community and another community, between one society or one line of civilization and another line of a civilization. And the journey from an egg and the bird sitting on the egg for 21 days, and then we have chicks, and then we have new birds, and they come out of the egg and ready to endure life, and they come out of the egg. No one teaches them things. They just have to follow the sound of their mother. That is the only guidance. The sound. They hear the sound and they know the mother, no matter how many chicks they are. And that's why for me, modern agricultural activities deny these birds one of the basics, and not knowing that the effects our agricultural activities have on these birds, it affects us because we are the only people around here who interact with these birds, who interact with those eggs, that it takes 2 weeks and our birds are ready and we are eating them. A bird that has grown for 2 weeks has less knowledge, even if it has it all, than a bird that has taken months to grow, to catch insects, to understand the soil, to scratch the ground, to listen to the sound of the mother, not just the lights of electricity and bulbs, fast food from the mash for the mares, the mash for the broilers. And those are some of the things for me I've come to find that they are more important as well than ignoring them. And then in the future, we want to solve the very same problems that we've been creating. It becomes difficult. Birds with feathers. Birds are one of the driest animals as well due to the presence of the many feathers. Birds, in one way or the other, and I will put it this way, they don't perceive water or rain the way we do. Birds have a cushion. That's why birds in these communities of eggs have the right to sink deeper into what we have built as our own conscious realms, values, customs, traditions, cultures, and take a look at all birds, and take a look at all grass-thatched houses. Look at grass-thatched houses in Africa. Look at the shape of the feathers and birds. It tells you the journey all of us, all human beings have taken from those very small, simple structures of grass houses and mud, and all the way to stones and wood and cement and sand and tiles. That's the journey we've taken, and the journey back is right here in front of our eyes. So if birds understand something about our communities, our societies, our cultures, our tribes, our countries, our spiritual journeys, then tells you from studying birds and studying eggs and these communities of birds, then from it we can tell what is the future of birds, or what is the past of birds, or what happened to the biggest birds that we've come across pictures and learned about their existence on this planet in school, like the dinosaurs. It tells you they are not far away from us. And that's why the reasons we can't see them. But in one way or the other, we interact with one of the biggest birds in different ways. And I know with time, as human beings, we are going to come across some of the few details or links or hints of where these big birds are right now. Also from birds, and having this connection of birds, the wisdom between birds and houses made of grass, I've come to learn that it is very hard to detect the behavior, the lives, the lifestyles, the products, the thoughts of the people who lived back in the ages, our forefathers, because we only have images, black and white. It doesn't make it look like we know what they used to do. Even if they used to use simple tools like just a stick to dig, it tells you their eyes didn't see sticks. Their eyes could not see birds. Their eyes could not see the colors we see. They saw bigger and bigger arrangement of molecules, atoms, items, things, events, structures, forest, animals, images. And that's why it was easier for them to detect what will happen in thousands and thousands of years to come, because they could see it from a distance, the same way birds have that awareness. Most birds live in tribes, families, the same feathers, and you can see their beaks, those birds that eat seeds, birds that suck nectar, birds that eat flesh, like eagles. And birds control creation, or rather record every single event, motion, light, image, actions, bad or good, mornings and evenings of our thoughts in how we manifest family members, the people we meet in our daily lives, the jobs we get, the schools we go to, the communities we create, the spouses we get married to, the tribes, the knowledge centers we have, neighborhoods and communities, countries, and even societies, taste, and our senses. Why would someone have a different taste for shoes than you? All these details are recorded and are brought to us by every single other living creature around us, from insects to birds to amphibians to reptiles to water to rain to seasons. And to me, it is also a good culture for us to take a break from our daily events. When you have a break, take a moment to gather other signals, other examples, other sources of knowledge, because knowledge will never end. Knowledge is one of the journeys to righteousness. That if I'm seeking knowledge, sometimes I will ignore the troubles of this world. So my brothers and sisters and African children, this is Madaraka, and I've learned so many things from birds. and it took me a lot of sacrifice, a lot of journeys, immense. But I'm here to share this with you, and God bless you, and God bless your families. Come on, keep creating communities, keep creating tribes, keep creating societies that accommodate others wherever you are. That for me, the easiest way to study an egg is to study the bird. The only difference is the egg is still, the stillness of thoughts and time that are attached to the presence of an egg. And the difference when it comes to the bird or the chicken, with the feathers and movement and sound and awareness, that they are the same, but the bird is traveling in one direction because all the feathers are facing backwards. And for the egg is in the same place. So it takes the bird or the chicken to share easy knowledge and understanding of the journey it has traveled from the day it was an egg, to share it with the egg so that the egg can copy through association, and we have another chicken and we have another bird. That's the same thing mom and son and daughter does. That's the same thing dad and children does. That's the same thing leaders do with the community. That is the same thing that has happened time and time again. We learn from each other better through association than forcing our thoughts on younger generation, or forcing our thoughts on our neighbors, or forcing our thoughts on our wives, our husbands, our children, our siblings, our leaders, our followers. And that's the beauty of trying, to seek an understanding to something that it looks obvious, it looks basic, it's good to ignore it, because sometimes when you ignore something, people might think you know it. But sometimes we have this urge, when we understand others, we know how to approach them, we know how to distance ourselves, we know how to take care of each other. And that's why Madaraka comes here and shares an item or two about the things I have researched on and I've been granted an opportunity to understand also for a very long time. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh, God bless you guys. And keep pushing, keep working hard. God will never forget his own creation. God is always with us. Emmanuel, God is always with us.